Welcome to Middle School Mama, your destination for all things education. Hi, everyone. I'm back with you today to talk to you a little bit about my job and how it is I came to work at home. More and more, the more I blog or share a YouTube video or just talk to people out and about, everyone is kind of asking me the same sets of questions. Like, how on earth did you end up leaving a full time teaching position in order to work from home? Most of my friends are educators or work in the educational field. And some people, I think, thought I lost my mind when I left my job because I worked really, really hard to get where I was. Um, and it has been a long and very exciting journey for me. And I wanted to share some of those ideas and thoughts with you. So, the first question that I am asked almost exclusively across the board is, why did you decide to leave? To give you a little bit of background, I was a stay at home mom for a number of years and I decided to go back to school. I earned my bachelor's degree and my teaching license. I am licensed to teach integrated language arts, grades kindergarten through 12th grade. And I worked really, really hard to go back to school to balance family life and my educational goals and my career goals. And after several years of working really, really hard, I finally had my teaching certificate. I have always wanted to be a teacher. I've always been very passionate about education. So I was thrilled when I finally got an official classroom teaching position. Shortly after I started, I realized something wasn't quite right. First of all, I was spending a very large amount of time either in the classroom, worrying about my classroom, planning for my classroom. It was really just taking over my entire life. I have three kids, a husband, a young family, and that just wasn't what I was comfortable with. On top of that, I was not entirely happy with how I felt I was in the classroom. And that doesn't mean that I wasn't happy with how I was as a teacher. It is more about I wasn't sure that there was true learning and growing going on with my students. Um, it's the way of the American educational system right now. You have to meet certain standards, you have to progress at a certain pace, you need to have standardized testing. And sometimes that really can get in the way of true learning and true education and true growth. I decided I love teaching. I love education. I loved my students. I loved being in the classroom, but something just wasn't quite right. So I started researching. First, I looked at other types of classroom jobs, other districts, just other things I could do with my degree and my license. And through this research, I found a couple of things. Number one, there is a growing trend toward online education. This is especially the case overseas in places like China, all over Asia. It's expanding rapidly. So that is what brought me to VIP Kid. I began teaching with VIP Kid while I was still teaching in my regular job, just to gain some extra income. And after that first week of teaching with VIP Kid, I came to my husband and I said, that was the most fun I have ever had teaching ever. And that's when it clicked for me. I knew that something wasn't right where I was, and now I knew what it was that I needed. So I chose to leave my traditional classroom job. It was very, very difficult. It was a difficult decision. I made a lot of fantastic friends there, but it wasn't the right fit for me. So I decided to leave and I started working with VIP Kid full time. I currently teach with them from 5 a.m. until 10 a.m., 5 days a week. On top of that, I said, I have a lot of great resources that I'm not using in my classroom anymore because VIP Kids supplies my curriculum. So then I opened my Teachers Pay Teacher store. So that was bringing in a little bit of income here and there, not anything crazy. I'm not a millionaire, but it was doing all right. And again, I like to research. So I did a little bit of research on how to grow my Teachers Pay Teachers business. That took me to blogging. And once I discovered blogging, that was pretty much the that was the end of it. That was really the total plot twist in my story. Once I started blogging, I thought I was going to blog to promote my educational resources. But the more I did it, the more I loved it. The more I found my voice, the more I realized I loved writing. So now my blog is quickly taking over um, as part of my primary income source. Definitely am not leaving VIP Kid at all. I'm definitely going to continue working with them, but the blog has really become a big part of who I am and what I do for a living. Now I have several income streams working from home. I have VIP Kid, I have Teachers Pay Teachers, my blog, and now I've started my YouTube channel, which is still up and coming, but again, it's a lot of fun. I'm discovering I'm really enjoying it. And I've also started teaching on OutSchool. I have another video that is an OutSchool review. So if you are interested in that, please go ahead and click on that link below. After everyone asks their questions and kind of gets the story of how I ended up here, the next comment is always, I wish I could do that. Or I wish I were as brave as you. I am not brave. I am not brave. I may be a little crazy. Um, I am not any different than anyone else. I'm really not. The only difference is there are two things. Number one, I have a supportive husband who, heaven forbid, should this all disappear tomorrow, we have a backup plan. So please don't think, oh, I'm a single parent or I am a sole income. I'm just going to quit my job and start working from home. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Have a backup plan. We have a backup plan. A lot of thought and planning and hard work went into getting me where I am now. And number two, I like to problem solve. It's really important to know that when you are working from home, you have to be a problem solver. If you are working for yourself, you are your own HR department, you are your own IT department. If my website crashes today, that's on me. I have to solve my own problems. I really enjoy solving my own problems, but just be aware that that is something that you are going to need to tackle and be able to work through on your own. If the thought of that scares you, please, please stay where you are. Do not work from home on your own as an independent contractor or as a self-employed business. Please don't. It requires a lot of determination and a little bit of a sense of adventure. I never know what the day is going to bring, even when I have a schedule and a plan and I think I know what I'm going to do. There's always twists and turns and craziness that goes on. So if you're considering working from home, I really, really urge you to sit down and think through why you're leaving and what you're going to do when you do leave. I could not be happier that I left my 9 to 5 job. It was absolutely the right choice for me. And I can't even wrap my head around all of the great things that have come from it. But please, please take my advice and research it, think it through. But I absolutely know that if I can do it, you can do it. Really, anybody can. To thank all of you so much for joining me on this crazy adventure that I am undergoing right now. And your support means the world to me. If you haven't already, please walk on over to MiddleSchoolMama.com. There I have all kinds of articles about all things education, working from home. I have a little bit of everything on my blog. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give me the thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And subscribe to my channel. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.